Various reports, Rory O'Neill, Metro Networks, that tear gas was actually used in the late-night search of the ex's family home. What do you know, Rory?
I haven't seen the tear gas reports, but I do know everyone was cuffed because there were about a half a dozen people in that home at the time. And you were saying before, it is standard operating procedure for police to use these flex cuffs in order to contain a scene. They found 6 people, maybe there were 7 or 8. So it really was just a measure to try to get through that house methodically, find what they were looking for, which police say they didn't find, because they certainly did not find Michelle.
Joining me right now, special guest Andy Lamprey, former LAPD SWAT, VP Andrews International Security Consulting. Andy, thank you for being with us. Question. This was, from what I understand, a search warrant that was executed in a late-night raid, and the father-in-law was put in cuffs. Could that be SOP, standard operating procedure?
Certainly could. Placing handcuffs on a person is not a punitive measure. It's intended to control. It can be a protective measure, and in this case, I suspect that's exactly what the handcuffs were placed on the individual for. And in fact, in many of these situations, if not all of them, the SWAT team makes entry into a location. They don't know who's inside. They don't know who they're dealing with until all parties are identified properly, and there's some sense of feeling that that proper identification has been made. The police have to be on guard for any eventuality.
With me, former SWAT team Sergeant Andy Lamprey. Andy, another question. Is it SOP to execute a search warrant with a SWAT team?
Quite often it is, Nancy, and again, it depends on the situation. If a search warrant is merely to search for evidence of a crime, and there's no danger of it perishing, then a routine entry would probably be made by patrol or detectives. In this case, where they don't know if they're dealing with a suspect inside who might attempt some kind of flight or even worse, to barricade himself inside. I'm not sure if they had concern that there might be other people inside that could be taken hostage. So there's a lot of things that need to be considered when a SWAT team decides to make an entry. And I might add too, SWAT is an acronym for Special Weapons and Tactics. The emphasis is on tactics.